Hello and welcome to the VGU Weekend News Podcast, where I, Allan and Graydon Webb
Hello.
talk about the biggest news stories of the week. And we are totally not doing this the second time for a second time.
No, not at all.
It's completely spontaneous.
Spontaneous?
It's something I heard on a OSW review podcast. So, for the upcoming releases of July 31st, we have Destroy Humans for PC, PS4, Stadia, and Xbox. Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection for Switch, Xbox, PlayStation 4. Lost Wing for Xbox One and PS4. And Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxibot on for PS4. So without any further ado, it's time for the news. Do that. Yeah. So Graydon, take it away with the first story.
All right. Now that I have the facts straight, Star Wars: The Old Republic beams itself onto Steam. Did I do that justice? Was that good?
Yes, that was perfect.
Wonderful. So EA has been unloading some of its previous Origin content onto Steam, like Mass Effect, Mirror's Edge, you had said Dead Space, and we're seeing more and more new releases coming to Steam. And this week they have put Star Wars: The Old Republic now on there. It is free to play, previously only playable through either its own launcher or Origin. But now anyone can play it on Steam. And as I see here, it apparently has 2 expansions, so there's quite a lot of content in there. And yeah, it might actually give me an excuse to finally try it. Get more into it.
If I recall correctly, this whole thing ended up boosting the player base.
Oh, nice.
By 20 or 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then it was a good move for them.
Next up, Spider-Man Miles Morales to have an optional 4K 60 frames per second presentation setting. So have you seen the footage that was put out?
No, is there gameplay?
It's not gameplay, it's more of a GIF of how the game will how it'll look when you're swinging through the city.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
It's it's a GIF, so it's not that long.
Oh, I see it here.
Yeah.
That looks like it's giving me feels of the movie of Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. The way he just kind of falls through the air gracefully.
So, earlier in July, Digital Foundry reported that Sony's recent PS5 games reveal showcase suggested 30 frames per second was a performance target for the majority of the company's first-party offerings, including Horizon Forbidden West, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. And so according to Digital Foundry chief Richard Ledbetter, which that's a good name.
Dick Bedwetter.
Of all the things, you had to say that. So he said that Insomniac is sticking with 30 frames per 30 FPS performance, even though the horsepower exists to double frame rate to 60 frames. So
I've seen talk about how, I mean, even IGN did a video on it around the time of the console reveals, that we're not going to see like graphical quality, like resolution's not going to be the future. It's more frame rate. But then what's happening right now is that people are saying like, well, you can get higher resolution at a lower frame rate. Like even on fairly good PCs, if you've got like a 4K, you kind of have to bring it down a bit. If like we're not at that perfect point yet. And so I'm wondering how they're going to get this thing to run at like the two highest things, being 4K, and that's what we're saying, right? That it's 4K. Oh, is it 4K or 68 frames?
you can have, I think, either or.
Okay, so you can have both.
Yeah, it's like performance and performance and the other option I keep forgetting.
Okay, resolution.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's basically more to my point then. Because like Knack, Knack was like the first game that I saw that had that. I think it might not have been the first one, but the second one definitely did. That was like, well, you can either have better resolution or better frame rate. And me being a person who doesn't really care much about frame rate, I would prefer that resolution. But then you've got a thing like where you're swinging at fast pace. This kind of game might be better for the frame rate. But I like that you can have that option of either or, because someday we'll have both, but I just don't think that that's this console generation yet.
I mean, technically we already have that. It's called PC gaming.
Yeah. But even then it's not perfect, right? You can't not the majority of people can't do that.
Yeah, it depends on the graphics card, CPU, stuff like that.
Yeah. It's an expensive rig you would need.
Yeah. So next up, Graydon, take it away with this story about Phil Spencer not having any regrets about Mixer. Or as I would say, no regrets.
No regrets here on Mixer, says Papa Spence. So there has been some chatting going on in an interview with GI.biz. Xbox head Phil Spencer said that he was disappointed about the fact that Mixer shut down this past week, as were many people, as it happened quite surprisingly and left a lot of streamers out in the cold and kind of sparked a big issue. But in his words, quote, "It's obviously a disappointment when you try to grow something to the scale it needs to get to and you don't get there. I don't have regrets. You make decisions with the best information you have at the time, you apply your best effort, and we're in a creative industry. And if we get into this space that we get afraid of disappointment, that we won't achieve what we're trying to achieve as an organization, I think it's fundamental to us that we're not afraid of trying things that might not work." And so he basically feels that he took a risk, where, especially in the industry, it's meant to take risks. He's glad that he went for it. But really, it's hard to compete with something like that. Like, I would go as far also to say, like, there's no genuine competitor to like YouTube. It just doesn't really. You've got a thing that's so big, you don't have people really vying for attention there. Like, you get certain markets where you just can't compete, and I think that Mixer was kind of doomed from the start. Went up against a thing as big as Twitch, and And then even with Mixer closing, they told their people to go to Facebook, right? And even
Facebook gaming.
that's not going to go anywhere. Let's be real here. And it's just like I think that it's good to take risks. I mean, looking at a thing like Stadia as like probably the biggest risk of gaming right now and seeing how that goes. But even like cloud, like the cloud gaming and having Xbox take another risk with their own thing, like that's what it's all about. But I don't think that he should regret that they went for it, and I'm glad that he didn't. But I think that it makes sense how things went in the end.
So speaking of Phil Spencer, next story is him saying Game Pass will not come to competing consoles, which I'm kind of fine with.
Same.
It's not because of console wars or anything. Just frankly, competitive platforms aren't really interested in having the full Xbox experience on their hardware. And the thing about other gaming console platforms is we're not able to bring a full Xbox experience on those platforms. And he mentions how, he mentions xCloud with mobile phones, and that coming to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, and bringing the Xbox experience to PC. So, and he also said the other competitive platforms aren't really that interested in having a full Xbox experience on their hardware. But for us, we want to be where gamers want to be, and that's the path that we're on. So, Graydon, what do you think about that?
I feel like it wasn't surprising really to anyone to have Game Pass go to PC because they're both Microsoft things, and they know that that's where they want to keep their brand, obviously within the brand. So it was never really a big thing to me that like, oh, Xbox and PC were teaming up. And what did surprise me was that there's still a lot of excitement for Xbox. And when that happened, I was initially like, oh no, is this like the end of Xbox? But they're still able to have their own separate brands. But when a while back we thought that Game Pass was going to be coming to Switch, it just didn't feel right. And the closest thing to cross-platform that they really have is the fact that they own Mojang, and Minecraft is everywhere. But I just can't see like a Halo or a Gears being on Switch. Or didn't we think at one time that like Gears was coming to PlayStation? There was some rumor.
That was like just like a random tech demo.
Oh right, the PS3 one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like at a time,
and this is technically going way back. There's a time when 2K or Rockstar, they had a share, like a minority thing with Bungie.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, this was around the time that this is Aftermath, but before Halo.
Huh. So that would be yeah, I mean, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the whole taking risks and doing different things and trying to branch out. I think that cross-platform as its own thing, like in terms of games, is awesome. But I personally don't have an issue with like console exclusivity. I know a lot of people do. But I've never really been one to get mad about that. So I don't mind Game Pass being just on Xbox. I think it's an awesome service. I wish a thing like PS Now could kind of be more incorporated into the PlayStation experience in a way the Game Pass is, just because I think there's a huge market there for people wanting to play old stuff. I know we've seen possible emulator stuff on PS5, and we haven't really seen like a much of a focus on the streaming for play on the PlayStation side. But I think that like if they combine that, it could have its own thing. And I mean, Switch did away with Virtual Console completely, so they just kind of gave up on any kind of Game Pass idea for themselves there. But I love Game Pass. I love what Xbox has done with it, and so I'm totally okay with just keeping it where it is.
Yeah, so from Microsoft to Sony, PS5 pre-orders could be coming soon.
They could. This is really wild as I'm reading this. So, a poster at Reset Era took a look at the JavaScript descriptors in the PlayStation Store's source code, which like who has time to do that? That's just, I don't understand. And even though Sony recently said that they would let people know about the pre-orders because there was a lot of rumors about pre-orders coming, that even Sony...
It was that one person on Reddit.
I thought there was like a Best Buy put it up or something, and Amazon.
Well, what happened was there's a rumor on Reddit, on the Gaming Lease Rumors Reddit subreddit, and like then Amazon put their put the page, like their page up. I think Best Buy may have put theirs up at that time or two.
So they did it because of that rumor?
Well, it could, from what the person who started that rumor said, like he's just saying that Sony decided to change their mind last minute.
Oh.
Which
like he's
did.
Got insider info.
Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing is just... I mean, I'm not as nervous like with this as I was with the PS4 and Xbox One, like when they first went up for pre-order.
Like missing out?
Yeah.
How so?
Well,
because they've upped production?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. I feel like they're bound to sell out at some point, like fast, just because of what it is, and it'll look good. They might even like release a certain amount, even though they've manufactured a lot, just so that they sell out.
Well, what they actually did was, or this is also a rumor, they may be doing like one per person or one per household.
So, yes, that also says that here.
So the scammers and everything, everyone can't get like 50 to sell for outrageous prices.
So you can't scalp them.
Yeah. The thing that Nintendo should have been doing with the Super Nintendo Classic.
Yes.
There's a great Giant Bomb bit about just back when Reggie was still there.
Yeah.
And he just, like, he was the reason that there was like low supply, because he was vengeful. Like he had a grudge against people who didn't buy Wii U.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just look up and like the name of the clip is Reggie says fuck him. Is some really good Giant Bomb content.
Oh my god. Oh, yep, it's right there. All right, I'll listen to that later.
You know what? I will take the next story so you can get the one you wanted me to add. So,
Sure.
Mass Effect Trilogy is probably out March 2021, according to VG 24/7. And this all has to do with the art of Mass Effect Trilogy Expanded Edition. And it says expanded with hundreds of never-before-seen works of art. This new edition delves deeper than ever into the sci-fi saga that changed video games forever. And it contains extensive new material from the DLCs for all three games, including the award-winning Lair of the Shadow Broker from Mass Effect 2, and the fan favorite Citadel from Mass Effect 3. Experience the evolution of the aliens, planets, ships, and technology that defined the iconic science fiction universe. As the developers who brought BioWare's masterpiece to life take you from the earliest design sketches through to the meticulous final renders. And brimming with concept art and commentary, this expanded edition is the ultimate companion to one of the greatest series in the history of gaming. And the book is set to release on March 23rd, 2021.
So why are we thinking that the other game is going to come out? Just because that's like far away to release a book?
Yeah, well, that and mentioning it's the ultimate companion.
Oh, true.
So, do you want to take the last story?
Sure. So our final story is that this week it was announced that Rocket League is going free to play. So in a statement from the people over at what is it? That's Psyonix, right?
Did Jeremy Dunham make an announcement?
I don't entirely know. I know I had this. Oh, it does say Psyonix team announcements. I'm looking at a release that I had seen on Twitter of a big graphic. And it says that summer, there's no specific date, I don't believe, but it says summer 2020 free to play. And it's coinciding with their shift from Steam to Epic Games Store. So if you have the game on Steam, you can continue to play it through there. They're also adding in complete cross-play, cross-platform, and they it's going to be, it says it will be identical to the version found on other platforms and will feature cross-platform play anywhere you play Rocket League, including between the Epic Games Store and Steam. Anyone who has played it already will get the legacy status, and that is where my graphic cuts off. And I don't know what is exactly in. Oh, maybe this link here that we have says it. I'm assuming. Yep. So you're going to get all the DLC that was previously released, which is awesome because there's some cool stuff in there, like the DeLorean and stuff.
Oh
yeah, Batmobile.
Yeah.
You're also getting a special thing of wheels, a special banner, a special title that displays an established title that displays the first year you played it, which is pretty cool. I played it at launch on PlayStation, so there you go. 200 plus common items upgraded to legacy quality, and a special boost. So you're getting some awesome stuff for free if you've played already. And yeah, I just found this super exciting. I know Rocket League was like the first big game on PS4, and just everybody fell in love with it. It's such a simple premise that's so it still looks graphically awesome. It is fun to play, and I'm excited. It's a little sad that it took this long, but that's exciting for everybody to finally get to play it and to play it together with cross-platform. So yeah, good on Psyonix, and everybody should finally take advantage of this and play one of the best games, definitely, of this generation that still holds up at the end of it.
Yeah, this was arguably, in my opinion, it was the last big experience that the the old VGU TV stash. It was the last great experience the VGU.TV staff had.
Like, you all played it together and enjoyed it?
Yeah, we would just over and over again.
Aww.
It would be me, Josh Miller, Josh Mobley, Matt Mobley, James Mangello, and Jovan would come on from time to time.
Aww.
And and Adnan and Riaz. And it was just like it was just so like it was probably the like, and it was around this time too. Like, it was during the summer of 2015.
Yeah, it came out in like June.
Yeah, and that was such a bold thing by having it for, like, PlayStation Plus, like, day one.
Yeah.
That ultimately worked out in their favor. So,
well, then we're gonna have to get actually, it released July 7th, 2015. But yeah, we'll have to get together a VGU plays on that. VGU 2 2.0 team.
yes. So, next up is the VENN Delineation.
And this is the most exciting one yet.
Yeah, the official VENN network trailer has been released.
How do you feel?
Well, I'm torn because it was only a couple days ago, and in the Facebook chat, that Emmett posted in all caps, "Al, have you checked Twitter?" I'm like, "Oh no, what happened?" And just drops the G4 return, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is my greatest hope."
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, so like ever since then, I've been like watching old G4 shows, and I end up writing a VG reacts to it, which you can read on VGU.TV. And it appears to be a similar type of, like, they're bringing back Attack of the Show and X-Play.
They confirmed that?
Yeah, those are the first two shows that have been confirmed to return.
Nice.
And there's someone like I'm in a G4 Tech TV, like G4 Tech TV alumni and friends group,
Oh yeah.
and it's just the group has been nonstop talking about this.
Rightfully
And
so.
one of the people in there who worked for G4 back in the day apparently they're looking into having a if I'm not mistaken, it is a like right now there was a poll uh, that someone made about if you had to choose from like the original G4's lineup, like G4TV.com, Icons, Arena, like which one would you bring back?
Yeah.
And I have I've had this feeling in my in the back of my head that I mean the G4 return is going to be a web only experience, and from everything I've read, it looks like it's going to be like a way to uh, basically just take on VENN.
Which is scary
Yeah, I
because
mean,
we love VENN. We've been uh championing VENN for months now.
yeah, one of the admins for the G4 Tech TV Friends and Alumni group posted a GIF of Eric Andre the whole "Let Me In," like, and is like, wake up to hear to help clients with the videos. Here's a G4 being possibly revived. Here's yelling outside. G4 fans finding this page, and them, "Let me in."
But you were there from the beginning. We stan. I don't know. I feel like they can get along if they, as long as the content stays like, as long as their content is their own thing. Like I feel like VENN is going to be very more modernized YouTube culture esque, which isn't terrible. There is a market for it, but I'm seeing it. I'm envisioning VENN being more like when Disney XD tried to be gaming for a bit, and they've had like esports tournaments, and they had a show that had like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier on it, just doing like their normal Let's Play stuff, but like toned down for TV. And
Yeah,
and that's what I'm
my niece is obsessed with that.
really. Is it still on? Like new episodes?
She's been watching on demand stuff of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like I can see that happening, and I even though I'm not a huge fan of it, I would love there to just be like, this is the MLB channel, but of Overwatch League. Like that would be so futuristic and cool to just have like, these are tournaments, you can watch them, and so I'm hoping that VENN has like, it kind of sets up a place for that. But then if G4, I feel like the audience of G4, if they were able to just bring back that 90s 2000s feel, everyone would be living for it. Like if you just brought it back as that, and it was just like, hey, it's silly, but it's games, no one would complain.
Yeah, people are also saying that this like that there has been some negativity to this whole thing, and that is the sort of type of the type of gaming that was happening at that time, and not really in terms of like just like pretty much the games that released during that window of G4's existence, but the type of humor and stuff.
Well, you don't think that would be good nowadays? It could fly?
No, the opposite.
Oh, that it would be nice now.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh wait, no, other way around.
Where are we? I'm just spinning in circles.
And apparently there were 2 years ago there were attempts to bring it back too. So
I saw that was the thing you posted today, right? That someone was talking about it being a thing a couple years ago and nothing ever came of it.
yeah, and the people didn't even get credit for their attempt to bring it back.
Which is never cool. That always stinks when a project doesn't work, but I think I like how people have been like this instantly made news, and I like how like Bruce and Morgan Webb like wrote about it, and like people are just, even IGN was just like, what the hell is going on? Like it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Adam Sessler was generally not expecting that. Morgan Webb was like, they still remember the password for the Twitter account.
I didn't even think that Twitter was not that big a deal when that went off the air. When did G4 go off the air?
2012. Technically, at the end of 2012, and Casey, or no, not Casey. Chris Hardwick he hosted a best of video for the early part of January 2013.
Huh.
And
Got
then it officially went off the air in 2014.
Okay.
So yeah, I still can't believe this.
I would love if they got Hardwick back for Web Soup.
I that's not, I doubt that's happening.
Damn.
Like people like Kevin Pereira, Morgan Webb, Adam Sessler, Olivia Munn, I doubt they're coming back.
Yeah.
But this then again, this is the same person who said, I will only watch if they bring Bill Sindelar back. And you're probably wondering who the hell is Bill Sindelar.
I am.
There's an old, one of the launch shows on G4 in 2002 was Blister.
I've never heard of it.
It was a show covering action adventure games.
Huh.
Yeah, I only did not only did a remembering G4 piece on it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and the thing that made me pretty happy was something that Emmett tweeted. The only person I know who is a bigger G4 TV fan than me is Alan Muir. He's literally been writing pieces on all of their shows over the last few months on the site. So I can only imagine the joy in his heart right now.
Very true. You have been killing it over there. Go read all of those pieces. How many did you make on them?
I think I think I've put out. Well, there are some dupes from before from when I was still manually transferring over.
Oh, okay.
Stuff. But right now, I want to say there is 6 or 7.
Oh. And hopefully some of those things come back. Well, at least one of them or two of them I've got to. I don't know if you did an X-Play or Attack of the Show one, but I think you've been doing more obscure things, right?
I've basically been doing the classic GeForce shows like Arena, Blister, Cinematech, Cheat, Icons, Judgment Day.
To be honest, I remember none of those.
G4TV.com. Yeah, I'm thinking of just adding more footage from my personal library I have of G4 stuff. Because right now I'm not doing one of players, which was basically Cribs,
That
which
I remember.
I still don't understand how that happened. Okay, so the ones I have remaining are Filter, Game On, Sweat, Pulse, and Portal.
And you watched all of these shows?
Well, certain ones I watched via YouTube, like Filter, Portal, Pulse, and other ones I had to watch. Like I by luck I found episodes of certain shows like Game On, and when it comes to Sweat, I watched that during G4 Rewind.
Oh, okay. What would be awesome is if like they replayed old content, because if it's the same, if there's at least somebody behind it from olden days and they could get some of the old content, I think people would happily rewatch stuff. Like,
Well,
even alone just having like a place to like be able to see a rerun of like Code Monkeys or some shit.
well, technically there is something like that it does exist.
Is there a YouTube channel?
No, it's on Peacock.
Oh, really? All of the G4 stuff's on there?
Not all the G4 stuff, but Code Monkeys is.
Oh, I would like Code Monkey. Honestly, if I could see Web Soup anywhere, it would bring my whole childhood come rushing back. Like that was my everything back then. And Code Monkeys I discovered later, but I love that just as much. Wow, I might go and watch that again on the Peacock.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that it's one of those things that I can't. And if you check out it, I just dropped in a clip from Web Soup.
Oh man, my chat. Oh no. I love things you can't unsee.
Yes.
Oh my god. His parkour bit was one of my favorite things ever. Like I still quote it to this day. Damn,
Yeah.
I miss Web Soup. But anyway, back on track. Before we move on, I want to ask you. So going back to the VENN delineation from the VENN trailer, are you still excited for that?
Yeah. I mean, when G4 launched, their biggest star or the biggest name they had was W.I.N.
Yes, I remember him.
And he left after about a year, due to apparently some backstage problems with Jim Downs. May he rest in peace. And like that's one of the things I don't want to talk about. Like I don't want to ask. Part of me wants to ask, but the other part of me just is just like denying it because like I don't want to come off like a douchebag talking about someone who's passed away.
Yeah.
So, time for our the new segment that I totally did not scramble to set up this morning. Remember this, where we chat about an old game that came out during the month we recorded an episode. So for the first edition of Remember This, Soulcalibur IV, released in 2008.
So we're doing any year but this month.
It's yeah, it has to be the month. Like it's any game, any year, but restricted to the month we recorded episodes.
All right. Was Soulcalibur IV the one with Yoda?
That is one with broken Yoda.
Hell yeah.
Darth Vader. And the Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
AKA Galen Merrick. AKA Sam Witwer.
AKA wasn't he called Star Killer? Or am I way off?
No, that was his persona.
Okay.
Well, actually, not anymore, considering Star Killer base is now.
Yeah, it's not canon.
Yeah, but still real to me.
It is.
Yeah, so this game, I remember, like, me and a friend, like one of my Xbox 360 friends, were like just super hype about Force Unleashed.
Aim.
That we were counting down, like every like when a new thing would drop, he'd message me like, "Yo, dude, this just dropped. Check it out." And it's I don't know what it says about the game, but I played it, loved it, got a little angry at the parts with Yoda and Starkiller, because Yoda had a very impossible to hit hitbox, and Starkiller was overpowered.
I don't even remember playing as him.
I don't think he got to play as him. I think he was he was basically a boss.
Oh.
Or the equivalent of a boss.
Then I definitely didn't play that much.
Yeah, and it got I enjoyed it and sent it back to GameFly. And then I completely forgot the existence of the game and the series just disappeared from my brain. Like, to the point where I asked Emmett if have they made any more Soulcaliburs since Soulcalibur IV?
Yeah, 6 just came on Game Pass.
Yeah, and I'm like, and when he had mentioned 5 at the time.
Yeah,
that was the most recent one, and I was like, oh god damn it, I missed out on everything.
Where have I been? I've been sleeping.
Yeah, and Soulcalibur IV got good reviews. And do you remember the Funhouse bit on demo disc with?
Vaguely, I remember they played it.
Yeah, and when they announced that Yoda when they saw Yoda was optional, like he was grayed out, but Bruce just lost it.
Yes.
And he's like, I didn't know he was in this game. And Adam goes, you said you love this game, and Bruce just did the
stare.
The off looking off camera stare.
Yes, I do remember that.
The game was a critical success. It got either it got four out of fives. It got an A from 1UP. Rest in peace, 1UP.
Rest in peace.
Got an 88.3 from EGM. Rest in peace, EGM. It got an 8.7 from IGN.
But IGN with the old logo. Rest in peace, IGN old logo.
And it has a Metacritic of 85 out of 100 and a game rankings of 84.59.
I like how you said it got pretty good reviews, and then you said it was a critical success. It's like, damn, it's much better.
I have not done my research.
Like it was fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's something that I thought of, and I was like, this could be a good thing.
Yeah.
Every time I was looking, I was checking for, something must have been wrong with the SEO, because I was searching for the big games that came out in July of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept bringing me to July of this year.
Oh. But nothing did.
Yeah.
Before we go to the rumor mill, as we're thinking back on old things, I will give you a moment, because I forgot to last week, to state your piece on Portlandia and just mention how you love it.
Yeah, oh man. Just put a bird on it. Ew.
I know nothing about Portlandia.
Okay,
except that one clip.
Have you ever heard Dream of the 90s?
What?
Have you ever heard they did one of the things they're big, they're really famous for, or the show's really big for, was they did a musical thing called Dream of the 90s.
No, I've never heard of that.
It's Fred Armisen.
I know him.
And I'm blanking on the Carrie something.
Okay.
All I know is that she looks like my brother's mother-in-law. But
oh yeah, her.
And it's just it keeps on escalating. They're saying, the dream of the 90s is alive in Portland. And then they also did a Battlestar Galactica binge watch skit, where they're it starts with them getting ready to go to a party, and they decide to watch one episode of Battlestar Galactica, and they end up binging the whole series. They end up losing their jobs. Their electricity gets shut off
because they keep watching it.
Because they've just been glued to the couch and have not showered, gone to the bathroom, and they ended up and when they found out that the episode they had just watched was the finale, there's you can hear them scream, because the whole thing was just one more. And it got to a point where they tracked down Ron Moore, who was the showrunner for that.
Yeah.
But it was, as good comedy goes, it wasn't actually Ron Moore. But they eventually got him playing someone who the Ron Moore they found was an old black man. And eventually Ron Moore showed up.
Oh, man.
And then the end to the sketch was, do you guys want to watch Doctor Who? I mean, considering it's been around for over.
Right, it's just going to be another binge-a-thon.
Well, that's the thing. If you binge all of Doctor Who, you'll die. So yeah, just everyone, just watch Portlandia.
I don't know where you find that. Probably some streaming service has it, but it was on IFC, and I don't think they have their own.
They have watched their stuff on YouTube.
Oh, okay, cool. Then start there.
Yeah, like Colin McLaughlin ended up played the mayor of Portland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the two main characters were part of like the government, sort of. Like they were part of his like campaign. It was really good comedy from that era.
Well, now that he's on it, I want to watch it even more.
So, Graydon, let's go to the rumor mill.
Oh, I almost got hit by one of her large blades.
You could have gone decapitated.
I know, I walked a bit too close, but she just appears in the path, and I should watch where I'm going. What does she have for us this week?
So there are two next gen consoles, for Microsoft, but Series S is not one of them. So someone did some digging about two trademarks that went out June 6th.
My birthday.
First was Xbox Series and Xbox Series X. And they're basically just like the data is just video games. And it coincides with Xbox One and Xbox One X. And then there's one there's just an S logo. Like that's all, just a logo. So and then on Reddit, I'm getting into the comments.
Yeah.
Like how someone said the Xbox One should have been named the Xbox 720.
Oh, ha ha ha. Yeah, this story was hard for me to understand. Like I didn't quite get it, and I still kind of don't quite get it. So are they basically saying that there's does this prove that one of them is going to be this unannounced console that we think is coming?
From what I can tell, the Xbox Series is apparently will most likely be a Lockhart.
Okay. And then the X, but there's no Xbox One S version.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out more next month.
Hopefully.
So, do you want to take the next one about the thing that I'm hoping for, which is the removal of Xbox Live Gold?
Sure. This is pretty crazy. So there was a tweet by Tom Warren, who I need to double check on who that man is.
If I'm not mistaken, he's with The Verge.
Okay. For some reason, I can't pull up the tweet. Here we go. Okay, yes, he's a senior editor at The Verge, and he tweeted out, quote, "Yes, Microsoft has removed the 12-month Xbox Live Gold option. What does it mean? Patience." And people are thinking that just means that they're getting rid of gold in general, which I don't know how I feel about that, because for years it sucked that we had to pay for online. Whereas it's not necessarily forced on the PlayStation side, and you don't need to do it at all for PC online, but Xbox still following this old model of, if you want to play online, you have to pay for it. And so they have recently bundled that in with the Game Pass as well, and then we've heard that they're going to bundle it in with the xCloud, and you're going to get all of that in Game Pass Ultimate. So if they got rid of golds, then we wouldn't have, as I personally wouldn't have much of an incentive to get Game Pass Ultimate. I like what Game Pass is, but I've just been paying for Ultimate because it worked out so well with my Live that I've had since my 360 I had. But then also I don't know what this would mean for like games with gold. So I don't know. There's some excitement to this, and there's also some
possible dread.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say dread, but just like I don't need that to happen. I was never asking to go away with gold, so like it just seemed and what I mean is like Game Pass Ultimate made it feel like I don't have a problem with paying for online anymore. Like it was just such a simple swap to be like, you know what, screw it. Like this is just a thing that I pay for. And being a person who I hate the idea of subscription models and subscription services, I hate that future we're in, but I still will pay for this anyway because I'm a shill. Like I don't really have a problem with gold, but I see that people do, and I see that can be good for people, especially seeing Xbox move toward more of a PC-centric market now. That would definitely help their online. But yeah, what say you, Xbox stalwart?
I mean, I've actually been using my 360 more than my Xbox One X currently.
Yikes, what?
Yeah, I'm currently like I did that Star Wars Republic Heroes.
Oh yeah.
Recording. I'm working on a WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2010 LP of like the Road to WrestleMania. And then like I plan on doing another one on X-Men Destiny.
Oh yeah.
And I have part of me wants to do one on the Star Trek 2013 game.
Oh no. That's online, right? I'd play that with you. I have that.
You have the game?
Yeah. That's the one with Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that. Didn't Funhouse do a video on that too? Or Inside Gaming back in the day?
I have no clue.
I know I've seen a Let's Play of it somewhere. On something I watched.
But yeah, certain games are just easier to do on 360.
Yeah. And I don't think any of the ones you mentioned are backwards compatible. I know X-Men definitely isn't, because that got delisted entirely.
Yeah, I'm surprised I still have Deadpool in my on my Xbox One X game list.
Did that get delisted?
Yeah.
I thought it got remastered.
Well, it got remastered for. Wait, I don't even know.
I think that got remastered. I think the only ones that got like delisted were the like older Activision Marvel stuff. Like the Ultimate Alliances did. Oh, but you told me the Ultimate Alliance remasters got delisted, right?
Yeah.
That is so shitty. I hate that. That was fantastic. Thankfully, I picked them up, but
Yeah, I picked them up on PS4, PC, Xbox One.
oh man, they should do a remastered a remastered dual pack for the Switch of those.
Yeah, that's all gangbusters.
Yeah, make 3 on multi-platform.
So, in the last story in the rumor mill, Hideo Kojima talks with Junji Ito about working on a new horror game.
I know who that is because I have a friend who likes manga.
So, in an interview during Comic-Con 2020, Junji Ito revealed he's currently in contact with Hideo Kojima about working on a possible new horror game. So, and people are like it's getting like, people are rumored, or this whole thing is rumored to be Silent Hills
Ooh,
because Junji Ito was going to work on like he was if the game had never been canceled, he would have been a part of it.
it's had that feel definitely. He would have fit right in.
And like the only thing he's confirming right now is that Kojima's next game is a horror game. And then back a few months ago, Kojima expressed his interest in making a revolutionary horror game. And he ended up saying PT ended as just an experiment, but I would like to make another horror game someday. Something that uses a revolutionary method to create terror. This is just make you pee your pants or crap them. I already have ideas in mind.
I'm sure he does.
So this is literally a rumor that none of this has been confirmed. Like I mean, when I say confirmed, I mean if it's Silent Hills.
Right. But it's been confirmed that he definitely wants to do something in that vein. And my god, PT is still just PT is probably one of the biggest just upsets that whole scenario
I
in
I
my
missed out on it.
you did never play it?
No.
Oh man. That game was something else. And like it just the best thing is that people are like recreating it in different ways. I know there was like I think there was like a VR remake. I recently saw a remake of it in like a minimalist uh like one of those Dungeons and Dragons type old things where you would just kind of walk forward slowly. Somebody remade it on itch.io. Like it's just it's inspired so many things like it, but that game was such a just a crazy man. I can't say enough about that. As someone who's really not a huge horror fan because I'm a pussy, I loved that game. That experiment. Sorry.
Yeah, like I've seen I kind of have a little bit of FOMO when it comes to like seeing videos people have made about of PT.
Hmm.
Like I watched the Giant Bomb video that they did a while back,
Yeah.
and I think someone may have remade it in Dreams. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Well, I just got Dreams from GameFly, so I will check that out.
There's a Disneyland Dream.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you can go to Critter Country. You can go to Tomorrowland. You can go to the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Oh my god.
And you could also
I'm doing it.
You could also go on Space Mountain.
No.
Yeah.
Without the feel of the horrible cramped seats and just the
Well,
you having not ridden that, you've never actually been on Space Mountain, right?
I haven't been to Disney World in 20 years.
Space Mountain is a absolute just suicide of a ride. It's wonderful in practice. It's a pretty thing in Disney. It's the spirit of Disney. But being in that ride, the cart is cramped. The track itself is terrifying. You feel like you're gonna die the whole time. It's long. Like, oh my god. My great grandfather died on it.
Yeah, when you brought that up, I was like, what? And then was it Connor who said people don't die at Disney, they die outside Disney?
Yes. Which I think is true, because they gotta bring them through the catacombs and stuff. Oh my god, happiest place on earth.
Yeah, then with that, I think we'll wrap up. So, I have been your host, Alan Muir, and I have been joined by Graydon Webb.
Always a pleasure, Internet. We'll see you next week.
So, stay safe, stay sane, stay sober.
That was